Welcome to the SEO.co Search Engine Optimization Podcast. Digital marketing essentials and next-level tactics. From off-site and on-site optimization to persuasive selling and everything in between. You'll learn actionable tips on what it takes to outright and outrank your competition.
Mutual research. One option is to pool your resources and work together on a final product, such as a piece of original research. A great example of this is the content study that Moz and BuzzSumo published late last year, analyzing the links and shares generated by more than 1 million pieces of content. This is an example of two industry influencers coming together, each with tons of resources and followers. So if you want to work with an influencer before you've earned your own reputation, you'll need to bring something valuable to the table, an original concept or something unique that no one else can offer. Interviews. Interviews are a much simpler form of content that is somewhat easy to produce. Hopefully, the two of you can get in the same room, but if not, audio interviews can be just as popular as video interviews. You'll write up a number of questions beforehand, interviewing your influencer, and when it's complete, both of you will have a vested interest in sharing the completed work with your respective followers. It's a win-win form of content. Guest posts. Getting even simpler, you could just ask a major influencer if you can contribute a piece of content to his/her blog. Many active bloggers would love the opportunity to host a new voice in their content stream, and you'll get the benefits of additional visibility and reputation by association. You'll just need to pitch an idea that's helpful, original, in line with their brand, and valuable for their target audience. But don't forget that guest posts work both ways. You could also ask an influencer to provide a guest post on your blog, especially if you already have an active readership. Exchange agreements. After you've developed an informal relationship with an influencer, you can develop tacit exchange agreements. For example, you might occasionally guest post on each other's blogs, or you might share each other's content on a regular basis. There's a strong mutual benefit here. There are two huge upsides to this method of influencer marketing for content support. First, it automatically gives you new content with a promotion system already in place. Who doesn't want that? Second, this method of work naturally lends itself to ongoing partnerships and relationships. With it in place, you'll be able to get at least one influencer in your corner and work with them on a number of projects in the future. Inbound links and internal links. Another way to maximize the performance of your content is by building links, both external links pointing back to your domain and internal links in your own blogs cross-referencing your other posts. The former is designed to increase your content's organic search rankings, sending more traffic their way. The latter is designed to keep your visitors on your site longer while directing them to your best-performing content. Modern link building can be described as consisting of two main link building strategies: attracting links naturally with great content, and building links manually. Since attracting links naturally is a combination of producing great content and then promoting it, you'll need to implement a manual link building outreach program. Leveraging internal links for content promotion. Fortunately, internal links are a much simpler affair than manual link building. Because these links don't pass PageRank from one domain to another, they're treated with less scrutiny than off-site links. For the most part, these are intended to serve as navigational tools, giving users the chance to easily find your other posts and also to help Google understand how your internal pages relate to each other. Internal links are a great way to encourage users on your website to your newest content to get eyeballs on it, along with the comments, shares, and engagements that will help it blossom. With internal linking, there aren't many rules to follow. Just link, as appropriate, to other posts you've written when you feel they'll add value. As an example, take a look at the last few paragraphs and you'll notice how I included internal links to other content on SEO.co. If your site is on WordPress, you can use a plugin like SEO Smart Links to automatically link certain words or phrases to your content dynamically, throughout your website. It's also a good idea to add links to your new content from other posts in the same category. You can use HelloBar or OptinMonster to create static bars, pop-ups, pop-ins, and modal boxes that display to visitors based on pretty much any criteria you choose. This can be a fantastic way to create specific, targeted, or even site-wide messages, banners, calls to action, or announcements to your visitors to drive visitors to whatever content you want to promote. Content communities and social bookmarking. Next up, let's take a look at how content communities and social bookmarking sites can help you promote your content. These are two different concepts, but I'm tying them together because they serve a similar purpose. Content communities exist to help content creators submit and promote their material, while social bookmarking sites are all about collecting and managing, bookmarked, links to interesting sites. Both involve users submitting content to a central location, which can be browsed and accessed by a content-hungry public. This setup lends itself perfectly to brands trying to generate more attention for specific pieces of content on their sites. General considerations for social bookmarking. Before you get involved with either type of submission site, there are a handful of considerations and best practices you'll need to keep in mind. Know your audience. Every social bookmarking and content community site is going to have its own collective community of followers and readers. Each site will have different areas of specialty, different expectations, and most importantly, different forms of etiquette. In bigger sites, you'll find that communities self-regulate according to certain standards of production. If you generate any kind of benefit, you need to plug yourself into these circles and find out exactly what makes these users tick. Only submit content if you feel it's a fit for your audience. Never self-promote. Most of these communities frown upon individuals, or especially businesses, submitting content with the sole intention of promoting their brand. Users rely on these sites to find genuine, interesting content, and if they feel like they're being spammed or advertised to, you'll see a strong negative reaction from the user base. That is, if you aren't red flagged and banned from the outset. Understand the curve. You also need to be prepared for the visibility curve that's inherent to most of these sites and communities. If you start to become popular, there's a chance that your content could go viral. Going viral in a massive community could generate hundreds of thousands to millions of new visitors. However, it's incredibly unlikely that your content will go viral, and if it doesn't, you stand to gain little or nothing. It's almost like playing the lottery, but at least there's really no cost in buying the ticket, per se. So, you might as well go for it. To illustrate some of these best practices and provide direction for your prospective campaign, let's take a look at a handful of examples in each area. StumbleUpon. First up, we have the social bookmarking site StumbleUpon. Rather than being hosted on a single site, StumbleUpon allows its users to browse the web as they normally would, and bookmark sites and pages that appeal to them. You can categorize these bookmarks according to interest, and then browse specific interests for random pages that other users have submitted. A system of upvoting and downvoting helps increase the circulation of pages that are collectively agreed to be valuable, and weed out ones that aren't. This is a good way to index some of your content, but only if it appeals to a specific niche. Reddit. Reddit is a massively popular content discovery and social bookmarking site. Similar to StumbleUpon, users can submit pages they think are interesting, then browse and upvote or downvote content they encounter. If you can make it all the way to Reddit's first page, you can expect a volume of traffic that could crash your site entirely. However, this is extremely hard to pull off. Instead, you're better off submitting your content and engaging with users in one of Reddit's many subreddits dedicated to niche interests. Medium. Medium is a content community with a long history and a large user base. If you're just starting to dabble in the world of content marketing or content communities, it's a good place to start. Again, the more specific an audience you target, the better. These aren't the only social bookmarking or content community sites out there, not by a long shot, but they are good examples that can help you get brainstorming and possibly get started in this wing of content promotion. Paid advertising. Generally, I avoid recommending paid advertising for online marketing, and it's not just because I run an inbound marketing firm. It's because in all the testing I've done, I've never been able to generate a positive ROI from paid ads. I'm no expert, but even after hiring paid advertising experts, it has simply never worked for my business. For some, pay-per-click advertising can generate a positive ROI, but that ROI is capped and tied directly to the amount of money you're putting in. In effect, paid advertising is inherently temporary. As long as you keep paying for it, you'll be able to see a linear return of traffic. Inbound marketing, on the other hand, relies on the creation of permanent assets and compounding growth, which means your online marketing ROI could increase indefinitely, and even if you taper your spending, you'll still continue reaping the benefits. That being said, paid advertising can be used as a way to promote your content, especially if all you're looking for is a short-term boost or to seed your new content with eyeballs. If you choose to use paid advertising for your content promotion, I highly encourage you to hedge your bets with a number of other, more long-term investments in your brand visibility. Options for paid advertising. You have a few main options when it comes to using paid advertising to support your content marketing strategy. Build a landing page for a major piece. This is best used for major, landmark pieces of content, like ebooks or reports on your original research. The concept is to create a dedicated landing page, offering your content as a downloadable digital asset in exchange for a bit of personal information. This is effective because it promotes the value of your landmark piece and earns more subscribers to your email newsletter simultaneously. Because you're reliant on new traffic and new subscribers to maximize the value here, paid advertising can be highly beneficial.
Thank you for joining us on the SEO.co podcast. We appreciate your time. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show and visit SEO.co for more resources based on today's topic, as well as access to more podcast episodes to help you improve your site's long-term SEO success.